So optimality differential decision problem. So here we have discussed that in 4x3 environment, how do we measure the performance? The performance of the agent will be measured by just adding the rewards for each and every state the agent is visiting. Okay, so the agent has to start from the starting state here, and it is terminating at the terminal states, and we have discussed that there are two terminal states and it is having +1 and -1. These are the two terminal states. It is having +1 is the terminal state, the -1 is the another terminal state. This is the location where the agent has to start. Okay, and there is a barrier here, there is a wall here, so it cannot enter into this particular state. Okay, now in this particular case, how do you measure the performance of agent? So for example, agent is taking the different routes like this. Okay, so for example, it is taking different routes like this. Okay, then it will be just measuring the what is the reward it is receiving for each and every state, that will be added up, that gives you the performance of the agent. Okay, so this is not only the one method we have, students, there are another ways to measure the performance of the agent. So how do we measure the performance of the agent? Here is whenever agent is taking the different states, okay, from the start state, if it is taking an action up, it will go to this particular status or no. So this is the state it will reach if it is take the action up. Again, it takes the action up and it will take this particular state. Okay, so like that, the agent will be having the different states it is reaching to reach the terminal state. Okay, so that we will be having the environmental history. Okay, so what is that we have to do here? We have to find out what is the utility function of environmental history. Okay, we are just finding the utility function for environmental history. So using that, we will be finding the performance of the agent. Okay, how do we denote this? We denote it as UH, utility function of history of environments. No, UH. What is that? S0 is the starting state, Sn is the terminal state. Okay, so it is taking different states to reach the terminal state. Okay, UH, S0, S1, so on. Sn, these are the different states it is taking to reach the terminal state. Okay, now we'll discuss what is finite horizon, infinite horizon for decision making. Okay, so what is finite horizon? Here is there is a fixed time interval. Okay, in that time steps only it has to reach the terminal state. Okay, so if the agent is not able to reach the terminal states in this fixed time limits, then the game is over. So the nothing will be matter. Okay, nothing will be considered. The user has to reach the terminal state. If it is not able to reach the terminal state in the given time step, the game is over. Nothing will be matter. That is why, what are the states it is taking for equal to 0? For example, n is fixed. You take any number of steps greater than n. That is not a problem. There will be no change. Okay, so that is the number of see here, S0, S1, Sn plus k, where n, k value is greater than 0, because here only n steps. No, so the what is the utility for this history will be always equal to the utility of the history by considering n only, because what is this? It is finite horizon. Here n value is fixed. Okay, so for example, in the 4x3 environment, here we have seen, no, in this environment, for example, if n is given as 3, what is n value? N value is given as 3, but agent he is here in this location. Okay, how many steps it has to take? It has to take 3 steps to reach the terminal state. Okay, so in this case, the agent will always take this direction to reach the terminal state. So this direction, what is the disadvantage of this direction is that there is a risk of entering into -1. Okay, it should avoid the risk of entering into -1 because n is very small, n is 3. That is why agent will be taking this direction to reach the terminal state. Okay. So, for example, if n value is equal to 100, if n value is equal to 100, if agent is here in this location, then agent will take this long route to reach the terminal state. Okay, because it will take the safest route because it is having more number of time steps, so it will always take the safest route to reach the terminal state. Okay, so from this, what we can say here, depending on time, the what are the actions the agent is taking will be changing. Okay, so with finite horizon, optimal actions in the given state could change over time. Okay, so with respect to time, it will be changing. That is why the optimal policy means what? The optimal policy is nothing but it gives you the what are the actions it has to take at particular state. Okay, so the optimal policy for finite horizon is non-stationary. It is not fixed. Okay, depending on time, it is changing. Yes or no? The actions are changing means the policy will also change. Okay, so the optimal policy for finite horizon is non-stationary. Now, so for example, here if you don't have any fixed time, so what is that indicates? It indicates that it is infinite horizon. There is no fixed time. Okay. So in that case, what is the use of taking different directions here? There is no fixed time. No, that is why the agent will always take the same route. Okay. So to reach the terminal state, it will be taking same actions to reach the terminal state. Okay. So from this, we can say that the optimal action is not changing with respect to time for infinite horizon. So what is the optimal policy here? It is not changing with respect to time. Means what? It is stationary. The optimal policy is stationary in this particular case. Okay. So if you observe these two cases, students, so here we can see that in the case of finite horizon, optimal policy is non-stationary. It is changing. Whereas for infinite horizon, optimal policy is stationary. Okay, so that is why the optimal policy for infinite horizon is much simpler than those of finite horizon. Okay, now what is that we have to do? We have to find out the utility of state sequence. Whenever some action is performed, what is that we have to do? We have to find out the utility of state sequences. Okay, so to find the utility of state sequences, what is that we do here? We will be using multi-attribute utility theory. So what is this multi-attribute utility theory? Is that any state Si can be viewed as attributes of states. Okay, so if you take any Si, what is that it can be viewed? Can be viewed as the set of sequence states, that is S naught from the initial state. What are the states it is taken to reach the Si, or after Si, what are the states it is taking to reach the terminal state? Like that, Si can be viewed as attribute of state sequence. Okay, so now what is that here? We have to obtain the expression in terms of attributes. Okay, so to obtain the expression in terms of attribute, what is the assumption that agent will do here is the agent assume that the agent preference between the state sequences are stationary. Okay, so it assumes that it is infinite horizon. What is infinite horizon? It is assumed that the agent preferences between the state sequences are stationary. What is stationary means? For example, if you have two state sequences, students, what are the two state sequences? S0, S1, S2, so on. These are the two state sequences, and S0 dash, S1 dash, S2 dash. These are the two state sequences. We assume that both the state sequences will start at the same state. So these two will start at the same state, that is S0 is equal to S0 dash. Okay, then how agent will be taking the preferences here? Agent will be taking the preferences in the same order how the sequences are occurred. Okay, how the sequences occur, S1, S2, so on, no? S1 dash, S2 dash, so on. Like this sequence has occurred. Agent will also take the same order. Okay, so if it is taking the same order, then it is called stationary. Okay, stationary will be defined like that. Okay, so here we assume that the the agent preferences are stationary between the state sequences. In that case, we have two ways to assign the utilities for sequences. How do we assign the utilities for sequences here? We assign the utilities by using two methods, students. The first one is additive rewards. This is the first method. In the additive reward, what is that we are doing? We are just adding the rewards of each and every state the agent is visiting. See here, what is the utility of environmental history here? UH, S0, S1, S2, so on. Okay, S0 is the initial state. Okay, so what is that we do here? We just add the rewards of each and every state the agent is visiting. So it is R of S0, R of S1 plus R of S2, so on, like that. Okay, so this is called additive reward. What is discount reward here? So we are giving some discount here. Gamma is discount value. Gamma value will be included here in the reward sequence. So it is R of S0, gamma R of S1 plus gamma square of R of S2 plus so on, like that. Some discount will be added here. Okay. What is gamma here is? Gamma is the discount factor and its value is between 0 and 1. Okay. And this discount factor describes the preference of a agent for current reward over the future reward. Okay, what is the preference of an agent for current reward over the future reward? That will be described by this gamma value. Okay, then if gamma value is 0, if it is close to 0, then what is the reward here? It is getting insignificant. It is insignificant reward. So gamma value cannot be 0. So if gamma value is equal to 1, if you just observe this equation, students, if gamma value is equal to 1, then discounted reward will be equal to additive reward. Discounted reward will be equal to additive reward. From this, we can say that additive reward is the special case of discount reward. Okay. So the gamma value is 1, then discount reward is exactly equivalent to additive reward. So additive rewards are special cases of discount reward. Okay. Now, for example, if the agent does not contain terminal state. Okay. If agent does not contain terminal state means that agent never reach the terminal state, yes or no? So what is that here? The environment, it is having infinite environment. Okay, the environmental history will be infinite. And what is the utility? What is the utility of environmental history here? Environment history utility will be also infinite. Okay. Now, for example, if you have two infinite sequences, students, we have two sequences which are having infinite utility. Okay. How do we compare them? So to compare them, we have three solutions, students. The first one is that, so instead of using additive reward, we are using discounted reward. Okay. Since what is that? The utility function is infinite, so that we are using discounted reward. Okay. The utility of infinite sequence is finite here. The utility of infinite sequence is finite. How it will be finite here? For example, this is the formula we have, no? Discounted reward formula. You just see, students, substitute t is equal to 0, we get r of 0. T is equal to 1, it is gamma r of 1. T is equal to 2, gamma square r of 2. Okay. So what is that equation? That is the equation of discounted reward. The same equation we get by expanding the summation. Okay. So this is the equation of discounted reward. Here, for example, this reward of each and every state, R of ST. is the reward of each and every state is bounded by some value R max. It is having the value of R max. And we know that what is gamma value? Gamma value will be always less than 1. Okay. So if you substitute that, this value will be always less than or equal to this value, because R of ST we have substituted R max, gamma power T it is like that only. So this value will be always less than or equal to this value, because some of the states will be having the value less than R max. R max is the maximum value. The some of the states will have the value less than R max also, no? That is why this summation value will be always less than or equal to this summation. Okay. Now R max is constant, students. We write R max outside. Then we have summation T is equal to 0 to infinity gamma power T. Okay. So use this infinite series formula. So if gamma value is less than 1, gamma value is less than 1, this series is having the value 1 by 1 minus gamma. So R max is written outside. So what is the value of this infinite series? The value of this infinite series is R max by 1 minus gamma. Okay. So if you have two infinite series, that can be compared by using discounted reward. Okay. The second solution here, students, we assume that the environment is having terminal states. Okay. So if it is having terminal state, the agent will always terminate at any one of the terminal states. So in that case, the agent does not have infinite series. The agent does not have infinite series. Okay. So the policy is what? It will give you what are the actions the agent has to take at any particular state. Policy will give us what are the actions the agent has to take and at any particular state. Yes or no? So a policy that is guaranteed to reach the terminal state is called proper policy. Okay. So the proper policies will be the utilities of proper policy will be represented with additive rewards. Okay, here we are using additive rewards to represent the proper policy. Okay, so if you see this figure, students, all of you see this here. So these are the three proper policy. Here you see it is reaching the terminal state plus 1, reaching the terminal state minus 1. Okay, so these are the proper policy. Here also it is reaching the terminal state plus 1. So this is also proper policy. Here also it is reaching the terminal state plus 1. This is also proper policy. This is the policy where it is not reaching the terminal state. This is called improper policy. Okay. Proper policy is that the policy which reaches the terminal state is called proper policy. The policy which is not reaching the terminal state is called improper policy. So if the policy is a proper policy, we use additive rewards. That is the first way of representing. So what is additive rewards? This is the additive rewards now, students. To find the utilities, we are using additive rewards. This is the formula for discounted reward. Okay. So if the policies are proper policies, then additive rewards will be used. Okay. So in the case of improper policy, what is improper policy? The policy does not terminate at the terminal state, then it is called improper policy. Okay. So what is that reward it is receiving is infinite. Okay. For example, if the improper policy exists, in that case, the algorithms whatever we are using for solving MDPs will fail with additive reward. If you use additive reward to represent utilities for improper policy, then what is that? The algorithms whatever we use for solving MDPs will be failed. So for improper policy, we should always use discounted rewards only. For a discounted rewards only, we have to use for improper policy. Okay. The another solution here is, students, that we have how do we compare infinite sequence is we are finding what is the average reward it is obtaining per each time step. Okay, what is that agent is receiving average reward per unit each time step. Okay, for example, if the agent is here in 1 comma 1, if it is receiving a reward of 0.1, in other non-terminal states, what is the reward it is receiving here is 0.01. So since 0.1 is higher than 0.01, no? So that is why agent wants to always stay in the state where it is receiving maximum reward. Okay. So that is why the policy, whatever policy the agent is generating, that is always trying to reach in the state where it is receiving the highest reward. Okay. So 1 comma 1 in that state it is receiving the highest reward. So the agent wants to stay in that reward in that state only. Okay. So now how do we find the value of a policy? The value of policy is expected sum of discounted rewards. It is what? It is the expected sum of discounted rewards when a policy is executed. Okay. So what is pi? Pi is a policy. If policy is executed, we are just finding the expected value of discounted reward. Okay. Now, what is optimal policy? The optimal policy, which is giving the maximum expected utility. It gives us the maximum expected utility for discounted reward when a policy is executed. That is called optimal policy. Okay. What is our aim here, students? Our aim is to find out the utility function of state sequence. Okay. What is policy here? The policy will give you what are the different states the agent is visiting by executing the policy. That is called policy. Okay. Now, what is that we are doing? To measure the quality of policy, we are finding the expected value of reward. Expected value of the reward, discounted reward. Okay. That the agent is visiting. Okay. What are the different states the agent is visiting? For those states, we are writing what is the discounted reward, and we have find the what is the expected value of that discounted reward. That gives you the value of the policy. Okay. So what is optimal policy? Optimal policy which gives you the maximum value, that gives you maximum expected sum of discounted reward when a policy is executed. Okay. So that is called optimal policy. Okay.